And we are live. Welcome to another chat session coming to you live from beautiful downtown Crestline in the San Bernardino Mountains of Southern California's Inland Empire, where I'm really dragging. Yesterday I had my esophageal endoscopy. EGB or EGD or something. They looked inside my stomach by sticking a probe down my throat. They sent me some of the pictures. You can't see much. But I have a hiatal hernia, stomach ulcers, and a ring. What do they call it? Shatsky ring. Um, it is not uncommon, but can cause problems. Uh, it's at the bottom of the esophagus, the part of your throat where you swallow food, and it can restrict the size of your esophagus, making it hard to swallow big chunks of food. Anyway, the deal is my stomach, the esophagus goes through a hole in the diaphragm to get to your stomach, and with a hiatal hernia, your stomach tends to come up through the diaphragm, which it is not supposed to do, but that hole in the diaphragm has been enlarged, and when the stomach gets upset, it expands. Or if you eat a full meal, which I just can't do and don't do, that can cause the stomach to push up. And it can be a very serious problem, but in my case, it isn't that bad. However, it's definitely a huge reason why I lost so much weight and got so unhealthy. It was first diagnosed 4 years ago, but nobody told me. The stupid doctors at the stupid clinic I had to go to um, never even bothered to tell me. I don't blame the general surgeon who did the original diagnosis, because he told my doctor and regular doctor, and that doctor was supposed to tell me, but didn't bother. She didn't like me because I wouldn't take a flu shot. Anyway, I'm hanging in there, but yesterday, uh, they knocked me out for the procedure, and the whole thing was a real drain on what energy I have. So tonight I'm still kind of out of it. See, they insisted I had to get there an hour before my appointment. And from the chatter in the waiting room, I discovered that they're never ready for you on time. Never. Anyway, I got there at 10:45. My appointment was at 11:45. At 1 p.m., they finally put a little wristband on me with my name on it. And it was more like 2 o'clock when they finally took my vital signs. Now, keep in mind, I had to fast after midnight the previous day. They didn't even want me to drink water. Well, yeah, right. I did sip water here and there because I happen to know that water leaves your stomach within 10 minutes. But I was not allowed to eat and I was not supposed to smoke. Ha. Well, I had my last cigarette around 10 a.m. And that was simply because I might have discomfort in my throat if I smoked before the procedure. Yeah, right. I'm fine as far as that goes. But I didn't get out of there till 3 o'clock for an appointment that was at 15 minutes till noon, and the procedure took 10 minutes. Well, anyway, they were so disorganized that the lady who was driving me was repeatedly told, "Go away, she isn't ready yet." And she finally got the front desk to phone the people in the back where they do the work, and they said, "Oh, yeah, she's ready, come get her." Well, I waited a total of maybe 5 minutes for my ride after they told me I could go as soon as my ride arrived. You know, they want to watch you for a while after the procedure. So, but the only reason she was there to get me was because she really pushed it and said, "Come on. She's been here all day. She's got to be ready to go by now." And she was worried that, you know, something might have gone terribly wrong because I should have been out of there by 1 p.m., not 3 p.m. She, uh, so she was unnecessarily worried because of their incompetence. And I guess the whole thing really dragged it out of me because um, I'm still not um, really with it. They used propofol to knock me out. That's the same stuff that killed Michael Jackson, but you know, not in those quantities and not all night long to keep you asleep. Anyway, I survived it. And I got pictures of the inside of my stomach, and I don't understand the weirdness. The oh, black things. I don't know what that is. The two on the other side make more sense to me. But anyway, apparently my stomach is inflamed. See, it says, "Dear patient, we performed your procedure due to an indication of blah, blah, blah. Uh, During the procedure, we found the following: a sliding medium-sized hiatal hernia was seen." Sliding means that the stomach goes up and down. Oh, hi, Top Rankin. Good to see you here. Hi, Top. Oh, I have my link for Buy Me a Coffee active now. I'm okay this month anyway. Don't really need donations, but you did ask about it before. I've got the bills covered. Okay, so a hernia was seen. The esophagogastric junction. That's where your throat hits your stomach, your esophagus, was noted at 36 centimeters with hiatal narrowing at 39 centimeters from the incisors. Are they measuring from my teeth? I don't get it. I'll have to ask the doctor what he means by incisors. Um, I wasn't wearing my dentures, of course. You don't do that when you're being knocked out, for various surgical stuff. So, additional findings include Schatzky ring or Schatzky ring. If it really is German or Polish, it's Schatzky. I guess it could be Russian. I don't know. Anyway, it's a ring of expanded mucosal tissues near the base of the esophagus, the lowest part of it, that kind of restricts the opening from the esophagus into the stomach. Retroflexion view, that's looking backwards, in the stomach confirmed the size, morphology of the hernia. Retroflexion view in the stomach confirmed the size and morphology of the hernia and hiatal width, 3 centimeters. Well, that isn't very big. Centimeters a little bigger than half an inch, so that's maybe 3 inches. Of course, it shouldn't be more than 2 inches. A Schatzky's ring was found in the cardia, 36 centimeters from the incisors. I don't know. I guess they measure from where my teeth would be if I had any. And erythema, 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 and erosions of the mucosa was noted. Man, they don't teach English, do they? That's two things. They were noted in the antrum. These findings are compatible with gastritis. Okay, I forgot to look up antrum. Antrum. Come on, Google. Antrum of the stomach. Oh dear, someone made a film of that title. Of the stomach. Not a movie. In or near the stomach, there are two different antra that exist in or near the stomach. Well, apparently, there's an antrum at the top of your stomach and another one at the bottom. So I'm thinking that would be a duodenal ulcer at the bottom where you have a duodenum that makes sure that food that goes down into the gut and does not come back up into the stomach. They want to follow up in 4 to 6 weeks, and they want to do a colonoscopy. They did not do a colonoscopy at this time. They don't do both. at the same time. They claim they discussed the risks and benefits of a colonoscopy with me. They did not. Oh, the windstorm last week. Yes, Top Rankin. That was. I have a small plastic patio table. It does seat 4 people, so it isn't tiny. It got airborne and flew up off of the driveway and landed in the garden upside down in that wind. It was awesome. Fortunately, nothing else was really severely damaged. I just have 2 cats with cabin fever. I haven't let them out in over a week. Yeah, the wind usually blows from the north here, north to south. But some of the wind was swirling. It actually knocked over things that are ordinarily sheltered from the wind on the south side of my house. And the rain, it just wouldn't quit. There were breaks in the rain, but then the wind was killing me. And I suspect we got between 4 and 6 inches in one day, plus all that wind. Last time not that storm, but the one before, the Weather Service said we got 2 inches of rain. But I had left a mop bucket outside that time, and it was completely full to the top. So I think that was more than 2 inches. And this time it was more. Yes, the mountain looks gorgeous now. Before the big rain and wind, my roses had bloomed because it got all sunny again. And now they're blooming again because it rained. They like water. And then it got sunny, but it's so cold. I'm not letting the cats out because I might have to go out to bring them in. Hi, Jan. Good to see you here. I'm beginning to wake up a little. The mountain is beautiful, except for all the stuff on the ground. Small tree branches and leaves, and every bit of trash on the block ends up in my yard. Yeah, I'm in one piece, but yesterday I had a esophageal endoscopy. They stuck a probe down my throat into my stomach. Of course, I had to be knocked out for that. And the nice thing about how they use propofol now, they used to use pentothal or brevitol. Those made me so loopy. And they had side effects like giggling and hiccups and even trouble breathing. Propofol doesn't seem to do any of that. They don't even bother to have you count down from 100 or even from 10. When it hits you, you're just out. And when they stop giving it to you, it's easy to wake up. I opened my eyes and there was nothing in my mouth. So I said, "Is it over?" And they said, "Yes." But they had to leave all the blood pressure cuff and stuff on me for 15 minutes in case I had some kind of weird side effect and needed medical care. I didn't. I was fine, but awfully annoyed. My appointment was at 11:45. They insisted I had to be there an hour early, so I was there at 10:45. The procedure was 10 minutes, but I didn't get cleared to go home till 3 o'clock. That's more than 3 hours after the time of my appointment for a 10-minute procedure. And I spent most of the time sitting in the waiting room being bored. I forgot to take a crossword puzzle or a book to read, so I did play some games on my phone, which I never do, but I did then. But I was just really bored and annoyed. But it's done. It's absolutely done. And the mountain is beautiful, but I'm really out of it still. It isn't like the old days when I had oral surgery on my teeth and I'd have a hangover afterward, but by the next day I was fine. Well, I guess it's because they messed with my stomach, you know? Uh, I'm just really dragging. But I'm in one piece and doing okay. Got the bills paid for this month. And that 8.7% increase in Social Security can't come too soon. A real inflation on things we actually buy rather than the stuff they calculate in their consumer price index. The real inflation is more like 20%. Trying to figure out what that oh, I see. I have a box of books there. And it looks funny on my screen. I kind of like the dim, dusky background. But I will be turning around probably next week and using the desktop computer. I have to run one of those horrid Microsoft updates. So I'm not using it right now. And that's okay. Let me see. Participants. And YouTube is a liar. It says nobody's in chat and you guys are chatting with me. Yeah, I talked to the Frontier people while they were putting in fiber on my block. I'm hoping I can afford it. It costs more than what I have. But do they limit you? Like you can use only so many gigs a month or something? 500 gigabyte fiber. Now my devices are not 5G compatible. Unlimited. But what's it cost per month, and do you have to bundle it with cable? I don't watch television. I'm fine with YouTube and Netflix. In fact, I don't even watch Netflix lately. I haven't found anything I want to see. No bundle. Excellent. I'll have to call them up and talk to them. I'm afraid I'm stuck with Verizon for my phone because I guess it was September. I dropped my phone in the parking lot at the post office and it turned into a brick. The screen on my phone was not just cracked, it was shattered. It had like bullseyes all over it because of the bumps in the asphalt. So I had to go to Verizon and on the web and order a new phone at $20 a month forever. Oh, yeah. That's that's I think that's a bit more than what I pay to Verizon for internet, but it might be doable. Do they string a cable to your house? Is that how it works? Because with the Verizon Wireless, I can use it anywhere. I used it in Denver a few years ago. That was the one advantage of wireless. This little gadget gives me internet and I can pop it in my purse and take it anywhere. Yeah, I've been watching them. They're still working on the poles on my street, but maybe I can swing it. I will lose the advantage of taking my internet everywhere. But I do mostly use it at home. Oh, that would be good. Because, our cable company, the existing one, I forget what it's called. They go down worse than Verizon because they use Verizon towers and they're like low man on the totem pole. When my internet was down for 3 days due to an outage, Charter cable was down for over a week. I thought Charter got a new name, but whatever they are. Yeah, that's because they don't have priority because Verizon serves Verizon customers first, and they don't do a very good job for us. They don't have redundancy here. When a tower goes down in this area, the rim communities, that's it. There's only 2 towers in this area, and I can't get a signal from one of them. I can get a signal from one of their 2 towers. So when that tree caught fire in Twin Peaks, my internet was down all day. And it didn't even burn the cell tower, but it did something to mess it up. Oh, Charter is Spectrum? Yeah, Spectrum has been running ads all over the place on the internet. I see it on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and junk email. But I think I'll check out Frontier. I'm stuck with the Verizon phone, which is okay because as bad as they are, they're the best phone service, cell phone service on the mountain. But I can cancel the internet service if I can afford Spectrum. Oh, wow. I'm sorry, I want Frontier. Did I say Spectrum? I'll check out Frontier. I have their ad. I found their door hanger in my driveway. I've been locking the gate because I had an attempted burglary. Yeah. Yeah, I meant Frontier. I just confused the two. I'm not good at names. Anyway, yeah, definitely check out Spectrum. Not Spectrum, Frontier. I do have their ads, so I'll get it right when I'm ready to contact them because I'll get that door hanger that I found lying in my driveway because it fell off of my gate in the wind. Where did I put it? I have so many documents to deal with now. Here it is. New fiber internet is headed your way. California Frontier Fiber is coming. Someone knocked on my door to talk about Frontier. But I told her I can't do it right now. It'll have to wait until at least January. Yeah, I've heard nothing but complaints from people who have Spectrum. I know one person who has a landline, a phone that is attached to a wire and stays in the house because they have cable TV. Oh well. Yeah. Anyway. No wonder Netflix is losing market value. I can't find anything I want to watch on their channel, on their website. Sometimes I find something on Amazon, their Prime Video, costs an additional fee in addition to the Prime membership. I keep the Prime membership to get free shipping on things that I have to buy and to watch movies. Only the ones that interest me always end up, oh, you can watch this for $3. or free if. Oh, hi, Sandra. I'm fading fast here. My internet connection is unstable again. I'm supposed to have another gig of internet tonight. All right. Oh, hi, Jason. Didn't see you there. I was busy looking at the door hanger from Frontier Internet, Frontier Fiber Internet. I'm really dragging. But the ordeal is over. I have to wait 4 weeks for the results of the biopsy. They want to check for cancer, but I don't think they'll find it. They'll probably find H. pylori, a bad bacteria that causes ulcers. And I've been doing everything that I can to, in terms of diet, and taking probiotics to deal with H. pylori and ulcers. I never did like hot peppers anyway, and now I'm not allowed to eat them. Fine. Mild salsa is pretty much my limit. If I stew a pot of tomatoes and add medium salsa to the tomatoes, I can deal with that, but I'd rather not. When I was when I was a child, Denison's chili in the can was too hot for me. My head is like full of fuzz still. At least I don't have the hangover headache that from the stuff they used to knock you out. I had a lot of oral surgeries trying to save my natural teeth when I was younger. I'm so glad I gave up and got dentures. It can take them out and put them in a jar overnight. I can brush them. They don't get toothaches. I brush them like this in my hands, not in my mouth. But I did learn from the dentist I still have to brush my mouth, especially my tongue, to keep it clean and hygienic. But it used to hurt to brush my teeth. I had very bad teeth all my life. Love my dentures. They're just awesome. Man. Phew. I shouldn't be so tired. Well, I didn't get a nap today. I did yesterday when I got home from the endoscopy. But today I was just too antsy to actually fall asleep. But I did sit with my cat for a while in the recliner chair, which she owns, but she lets me use it because I put the heating pad on her kitty cat condo. You can almost see Tora. Let's see. There she is. Right there. Turned her back on me because not sitting with her. But she's on her heating pad. And I'm on my heating pad on Great Granny's rocking chair. Oh, I'm not supposed to smoke or drink coffee, and that ain't gonna happen. I do drink tea and water, and they recommended chamomile tea, so I'll get some of that. I kind of like it. But tonight it's constant comment. I limit myself to one a day of the constant comment. First thing in the morning, I just have regular black tea. But when I feel like treating myself, I'll have the constant comment with the spices and orange peel. My time right now, it's 9:15 p.m., Jan. See, Jan is in, I think she said New Zealand. Anyway, over there, Australia, Tasmania, something like that. Different time zone. In fact, over there it's tomorrow. I think it's 8 hours plus 24 hours, so it might be Thursday for Jan. It's still Tuesday for me. The international dateline runs a kind of zigzag course down the Pacific Ocean. It's definitely tomorrow in England. 9 and 8 is 17, so it's like 5:15 in the morning there. It's 4:17 p.m. and it's Tasmania. See, my memory's getting a little better, but I need to be reminded 6 or 7 times before I get things right. And it's Wednesday. Okay. Hi, Witta. Witta is here. What I think about. I once made a phone call to Guam. I was applying for a job there. And I waited till back then, all phones were landlines, and it was long distance, of course, much more expensive than if you call another country on a cell phone today. It was something like $5 a minute. And $5 was a lot of money back then. You could actually eat at a family style restaurant for $5 or $6 easily, unless you ordered steak. So anyway, yeah, you might pay $8 if you ordered steak for dinner. Anyway, I just had to ask them, what time is it there and what day is it? But I waited till like 2 in the morning, my time, because they're something like 8 hours ahead. So it would be the middle of the day where they were, and they'd be in the office, and I would have a much lower rate. Only $3 a minute. I didn't get the job, and that's fine. I don't think I'd do well on a tropical island. I don't tan, I burn and peel. You know what doctors don't get about me and cigarettes? Real smokers go drag it into their lungs. I don't. Goes in and out of my mouth. So my lungs are not hit that hard. In fact, the congestion that I do have, they call it COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder. It's very mild, and it's probably due to the hiatal hernia. I've done some research on this. The hiatal hernia from my stomach is going up through the diaphragm. That's not a good thing. It can be dangerous, but I'm handling it. And for years, I have slept elevated. I used to sleep on my side, but I'd always wake up on my back, and I don't breathe well lying flat, and my bad back really hurts when I do that. So now I sleep in the recliner chair, so I don't end up lying flat. If I could, I'm going to try to find a pillow that will allow me to sleep on my stomach and still breathe. I think I would like to try that. But basically, with a hiatal hernia, you never sleep flat on your back. And with my back, I can't lie flat anymore anyway. In fact, for the endoscopy, they had me lie on my side, which was a big relief. Oh, Lord. What is with my crazy chat display? Oh, I guess doesn't matter. So I am still out of it, but overall I'm a pretty happy camper because what they did find is actually mild or medium in my stomach. It isn't huge. It isn't an emergency. They don't want to do surgery, thank God. There is a surgery for a hiatal hernia, but first off, they have to open you up. They can't do it from inside. They have to open you up and sew your diaphragm up so the hole isn't as big, where the esophagus goes down to the stomach. And in half of all cases, they're right back where they started within 6 months. Jan, I'm okay this month for heating. December might be a problem because it's been so cold. I don't remember November being this cold in years. Especially this cold without snow. The ski resorts are open, but I'm down around 5,000 feet, maybe maybe as low as 4,300, because I'm down in a low spot on the mountain. So I got rain that was cold as ice, but not snow. And when it got cold enough for snow, the clouds were all gone. I think the wind blew them down to San Diego. So it has been cold enough for snow the past few days, but no water falling from the sky. Usually I get the big heating bills in February and even halfway into March. Not November. But yeah, my bill is going to be over $100, I'm sure, around the middle of December. But I think I have that covered. Maybe. Barring any emergencies, like a vet bill for a cat. He's been pretty good lately. But in the middle of the pandemic, when I got my stimulus check, I had to spend the whole thing on the vet for my cat because she got a broken leg. I don't know what kind of critter she fought with, but she acted like she won, but one of her hind legs was up in the air. She couldn't walk on it. So she had to get this big old cast on her leg. They didn't plaster it, they just wrapped it real good. And she spent the next couple weeks chewing it off. And that was when she learned about heating pads. Huh, Tora? They showed the first snowfalls arriving in the U.S. on the news today. Well, we got it about a week ago, but it was up higher than where I live. But man, the tourists are clogging our roads because they're coming up to ski. However, my road on and off the mountain is not the road they usually choose. And at this time specifically, they're doing construction. See, last year they put in a brand new drain because the road had washed out because the drain had failed. So they put in a brand new drain. Well, in our storm, actually, it wasn't the big storm last week. It was a couple weeks ago and not as big a storm, but the new drain failed and it cracked and crumbled, so they have to dig it out and put in a new one. Oh, hi, Oswald. Thanks. I'm getting loopier by the minute. Oh, thanks, Jen. I still have the buy me a coffee link. It's still good. But GoFundMe charges a much lower fee. And Oswald, you have a wrench, so you can put the link here if you want. Buy me a coffee just, I don't know what their problem was. I signed up, they had all my info, my YouTube channel, my blog, my bank info, but they wouldn't send me any money till I could send them a link to where I had posted my link. So now it's displayed quite prominently on my blog. Yeah, well, I think Most of my glitches are Verizon, but yeah, Facebook sometimes just will not load. You can forget it. I can get it on my phone, but there's certain things you can't do, or I can't do with a phone, because I have a Facebook group that I manage, and it won't let me. It'll let me do a couple things, but um, like when I'm looking at the page, I can delete a post, but I cannot delete a comment. I don't know what's up with that. And today, Facebook, most of the day, it wouldn't load for me at all on the phone or the computer. But YouTube was working, and I wasn't using the internet service, I was using the data service, the slow, instead of gigs, you get megs of speed. I was using that from my hotspot on my phone, and YouTube was fine. I could watch all kinds of stuff, but I couldn't get Facebook to load on either device. Um, I wonder if I can find my Stripe. Stripe is sending me money. I just looked at my email. RB Noise Productions sent me $25 through Stripe. Is this real? It looks legit. RB Noise Productions. Oh, that's you. Oh, I get it. Well, thank you. I don't recall joining Stripe. I think I did. If I didn't, I'll have to do that. Let's see if I can find the GoFund. Oh, well, the best way, of course, is PayPal. If I can find that link, you don't actually have to have a PayPal account. For PayPal Me, charge the fee at my end, and it's a very small fee, better than GoFundMe. Well, here we go. Here's the PayPal Me. GoFundMe might take a while to notify me. Okay, come on. I don't have quite enough internet to do the back and forth. I really wanted to get a new stove, but I think I'll have to put that on the back burner. It's not a big deal, but I'd like to have a decent stove so I can do some cooking videos. For one thing, the oven doesn't work at all, and I have to light the burners with a match because the electric pilots don't work. Hi, Nikki. Welcome. was going to make this a short one, but it's already been an hour. I'm still loopy from the yesterday's adventure at the clinic for an endoscopy of my stomach. I don't feel pain, but I think it did kind of knock the stuffing out of me. I suppose I can find the GoFundMe link. I'm not sure whether I've put that link in the show description. Okay. Uh, the best way for me to find it is to actually open the website if my internet will hold up. Praying to the gods of Verizon. Oh, no, why am I on Yahoo? I hate Google. Google keeps sending me to Yahoo. What they're doing is, I suspect, is Google is being paid by other search engines to send searchers to their sites. All right, sign in. I never remember all these URLs. Oh well. Anyway, I was a guest last Friday on Solaris Blue Raven's show, Hyperspace. It's actually radio, so I did it on the phone. I didn't have to have an internet connection. And we were talking about Philip K. Dick's novel, The Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch. And of course, I was married to Phil. It's about two drug companies. Let's see, Leo Bolero's company makes Can D, which is candy, and Palmer Eldritch's evil company makes Chew Z, which of course is chewing gum. And Can D just provides people with a pleasant escape from their dreary life on a colony on another planet. I think it's Mars. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a good one, Oswald. But Chew Z allows Palmer Eldritch to possess the people who use his drug. Okay. I'm still waiting for GoFundMe link. Maybe I could have searched for it in my email folders faster than this. Here we go. There. Oh, wow. Now, if you look at my GoFundMe page, it looks like I've received a lot of money, but it's over a period of more than 10 years. So it really isn't that much per year. I was originally trying to keep my home during the crash. So it might have been 12 years or more. I don't know when I first started. But yeah, I think it's more like 12 years. Anyway, it's not much when you divide it by 10 years. I did manage to keep one house. My son's house went into foreclosure because neither one of us could make the payment during the crash, which was started in 07 and 08, but continued for a couple years. But I managed to keep this little cottage or cabin, whatever you want to call it. But man, it still needs lots of repairs. Things that are not going to get done in the winter because of the weather. But at least it has, thanks to rebuilding together, which used to be Christmas in April, it does have an earthquake retrofit, and the evil black walnut trees are gone. They were here when I moved in. Well, black walnut trees, and maybe any walnut tree, I don't know, they kill all the plants around them, and they were killing all the other plants. They do that. They put out a toxin, a poison. They're gone. And, I got some help, but they didn't do everything. And of course, it's been 5 or 6 years. Other things have fallen apart and so forth. Okay, Oswald wants to know, has Solaris ever revealed whether a blue raven is the offspring of a bluebird and a raven, or her own metaphysical creation? Well, I don't know. Anyway, you would now see, he wrote the Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch back in the 60s, and at that time, many adults, especially grandparents, thought chewing gum was evil. It would rot your teeth, um, change the shape of your jaw to something can't think of the word. It would mess up your face by changing the shape of your jaw to something that wasn't normal. And if you swallowed it, it would make you sick and maybe kill you. Well, back then it wouldn't. Nowadays, chewing gum is made of plastic, so yeah, I wouldn't swallow it. But back then it was made of chicle, a sap from a tree in South America. When I was in grammar school, I think 4th grade. The school showed us a film all about how they made chewing gum, and they'd tap the trees and they'd pound the chicle, and yeah. Ew, I agree, Witta. Made of plastic. It is not chicle. Chewing Nicorette gum to quit smoking? God forbid. Well, I've tried the Nicorette gum. You're not really supposed to chew it. You're supposed to just kind of hold it in your mouth and let the nicotine dissolve. Didn't work for me. It just, even the lowest dose of Nicorette gum is an overdose for me. I got sick from it. I guess people who suck the cigarette smoke into their lungs really get a much bigger dose than I get puffing on it. In my mouth and out again. Chewing tobacco is offensive because you have to spit, and that's gross and disgusting. You know, all the bars in the Old West would have spittoons where you could spit when you were chewing tobacco. Chewing tobacco, though, was also sweet. It usually had molasses or something else to bind it to chew on. It was like candy for grown-ups. And horses would be given, they'd give horses chewing tobacco to kill worms in their guts. It worked. I also tried the patch when I was getting serious about quitting smoking. Same problem. I just got an overdose of nicotine. It didn't make me stop wanting a cigarette. My water's empty. Here, my title says this is a short one. Let me wobble out and get water. I'll be right back. Oh, dum-de-dum. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Ah. So I'm actually humming the Get Smart version of Dragnet, apparently. I'll have to go to YouTube and watch Dragnet so I can get the tune right for the dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum-de-dum. I don't think those grannies ever encountered Nicorette gum. It's a fairly new thing. When my granddaughter quit smoking, and she really quit, she was under 18, under 21, I think it's 18, whatever. An adult had to buy the patch for her. She was smoking cigarettes, but she couldn't get a patch to help her quit. Somebody's an idiot and making laws. Apparently, California has made fruit-flavored cigarettes illegal to sell or buy, but apparently that's going to include menthol cigarettes. Once in a while, I like a menthol. And I already smoke. I don't understand. Oh well. There's some. I can understand that children might want fruit flavored cigarettes, although most children don't want cigarettes at all. But menthol? Ah. Our state is being run by lunatics. And I can't believe that Newsom got reelected after that stunt at the French restaurant. Oswald thinks menthol cigarettes are sexist? I heard someone say they're racist, and I really don't get it. They're just, you know, they're just cigarettes. Of course, cigarettes are all evil, right? But I've smoked pretty much all my life. My lungs are fine. Before I broke my leg, I could walk even uphill. I could walk a mile to the grocery store and walk a mile back carrying groceries. My lungs are not limiting me. It's my bad back and my legs are pretty much healed. I broke one in, I think it was 2010 or thereabouts. And I broke the other one in 2020. They're healed, but my back is not. Oh, a joke on menthol. I get it. Men, not womenthol. Well, oh, I see. African Americans smoke menthol. Well, that's their choice. I guess we should outlaw grits and I can't even think. Um, we should outlaw grits because black people eat it. Does that make sense? Why can't I think? I guess my brain is really still loopy from yesterday. I was going to name some foods and I can't think of them. Oh, we should outlaw sweet potato pie because far more black people make them and eat them. And it'll make you fat. And it has a lot of sugar. I'm not reading that one, Oswald. Let's just say it's a good thing I don't replay the chat. I don't know what I can talk about without Facebook, YouTube dinging me. I've never been dinged on Facebook, and I used to post about politics all the time. I've kind of grown tired of politics, but we did just have an election, and the results are weird. But whatever. Oswald retracted his messages. It's okay, Oswald. I have one warning. They went and found a 2-year-old video with some kind of violation and gave me a warning that is permanent. It never expires. Now, actual dings where they block you for a week or two, they do expire, but a warning that never expires. And I still don't know what I said that they didn't like, and they won't tell me. I don't claim to be a scientist or a doctor or anything, although I did study pre-med for 3 years before I did an internship with a veterinarian and realized that it was not for me. So I decided to teach English instead. So big words don't scare me. They're just fancy ways of saying things that most of us already know, but we use more common words that everybody understands. Like I can tell you I have a stomach ulcer, but this literature that the doctor gave me says erythema and erosions of the mucosa. That's ulcers. Well, erythema, I think, is inflammation. Let me see. Maybe Google will tell me. Superficial reddening of the skin usually in patches as a result of injury or irritation causing dilation of the blood capillaries. Well, yeah, technically the inside of your stomach is skin. I think Ulster's in Ireland, Oswald. I am apparently Scots-Irish, and at least the lowland Scots are ethnic Irish. I doubt that the Highland Scots are. Got bitten by a wasp? I've been stung by wasps. I guess it's really biting. They use their proboscis. Their mouth has like a straw. I was watering the lawn and my toes were itching, and I realized when I looked down that wasps were attacking me because apparently they were mud wasps and their nest was on the ground, and I was soaking their nest with the garden hose. Yeah, well, yeah, there are. Historically, the Irish have invaded Scotland and the Scottish have invaded Ireland. And many Scottish people stopped in Ireland before they came to the United States. Apparently, there's this weird rule that if you want to come here as an immigrant, you have to stop in a third country on the way. a country that is not your home, but not the United States? Ulster Scots dialect is West Germanic? That's strange. Well, I have a lot of Scottish ancestry, and my DNA test proves it. But they did not find any African DNA or Cherokee DNA. And that kind of figures because it would be my third great grandparents. And they might, they kept marrying white people. And my Cherokee ancestor might not have been Cherokee. The Mormons say she was white, and everybody else just doesn't know. So who knows? But I am for certain the direct descendant of a black African slave. Oh, you evil thing. Come on. Okay. The evil thing went down on me for a minute. I'm definitely the direct descendant of a black African slave in Virginia around 1800. I'm fading. I'm not sure who the Hitchens brothers. Oh, Peter Hitchens. Yeah, one of them is an atheist and the other is not. And one died. The atheist died. And the one who's not an atheist gets interviewed a lot. I'm Clan Morrison. Wait, yeah. My great grandmother was a Gilmore. That's part of Clan Morrison. Same clan as John Wayne. And I mean, about a fourth Scottish, maybe more than that. Phil was 3/4 Scottish. His mother was half Scottish, half English, and his father was pure Scottish. Oh, the two brothers Hitchens debated each other. That's interesting. What turns me off about atheists is they tend to be so caustic. They have to fight against God. And I suspect that at least most of them, if not all, are angry at God. So, I hate you, so I'm not going to believe in you. And I hate everybody who worships you. That's so unproductive, counterproductive. I kind of like Peter Hitchens, the Christian and COVID skeptic. I haven't seen what he says about COVID. Christopher Hitchens was better than Dawkins and Harris. Well, I know who Dawkins is. Don't think I know about Harris, but Christopher Hitchens, according to according to someone else, I forget who, once said, well, it's possible that there's some kind of force out there, but he wouldn't call it God. Yeah, atheism just means no God. You just are without. Technically, the A means without. Uh, but if you don't believe in God, why do you have to preach about it? Just don't believe. Now, I believe, but I'm not going to attack you if you don't. That would be unchristian. Oh, Sam Harris, the Jewish Buddhist Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fanatical atheist. Who's, oh, his mother created the Golden Girls. I used to watch the Golden Girls. I enjoyed it. Well, oh dear. There's a controversy about that comic who's now the host of Saturday Night Live. Forgive me, I don't remember his name. He did a monologue about what's his name? Gosh. I think he calls himself Ye now. God, how could I forget his name? Anyway, you know, Dave Chappelle is now hosting Saturday Night Live. And the guy who was with Kim Kardashian, yeah, Kanye. How can you be stupid enough to hate Jews just because they're Jewish? I mean, what is a Jew? We have religious Jews who are not ethnic Jews, they're converts. We have ethnic Jews who are not religious. And we have Christian Jews. What do they call the church? Messianic Jews who believe in Jesus. You can't lump them all together and say the Jews any more than you can say all the fish in the ocean are the same. There's no such thing. Yeah. You told me that once before, or somebody did. If Kanye West converted to Hinduism, he'd be Ye Shiva. That's still funny. But that's almost it's almost as bad to say the Christians. Which ones? We have Catholics, Episcopalians, Anglicans, Orthodox, Baptist, Presbyterian, Mormons. I don't think they're Christian, but they say they are. What else? Oh, Assembly of God. You know, the Holy Rollers. Um, we have non-denominational. It's just ridiculous. Oh, Oswald put it in the Robert Phoenix chat. That's right. I don't always watch Robert Phoenix, but I have been trying to catch his Sunday shows. It's just that they overlap with Walter Bosley. Oh, yeah, Coptic Christians. Thank you, Top Rankin. And then there's Armenians have their own church. I don't know what to call it. Coptic, of course, is Egyptian. And there's different Orthodox churches. There's Greek Orthodox, Russian Orthodox, and so forth. Oh, and there's Methodists. And there's different kinds of Baptists. There's Southern Baptist, and there's Central Baptist, and I think there's more than that. And then there's just plain old Baptist. The main difference among Baptists is faith versus works. You see, Paul said all basically we are saved through faith. But James, the brother of Jesus, said faith without works is dead. Oh, Lutherans, especially the Missouri Synod, they take works to the extreme. Oh, Armenians are Hellenic. Thank you, Top Rankin. Hellenic basically means Greek. At one time, the name of Greece was Hellas. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, maybe faith without works is dead, but that doesn't mean that works are everything. They're simply a demonstration of your faith, but works don't save you. Oh, apostolic. Yeah. And by the way, Jesus was a Jew. His disciples were Jewish. Now, Mark was a Gentile, but he was not a disciple, even though he wrote a gospel. But the disciples, the 12, after Jesus died, preached to Jews to convert them to this Messiah. They didn't really go after Gentiles to convert them until this half-Roman Jew named Paul had a vision, and he became the apostle to the Gentiles. And of course, eventually the Romans killed him. He got tired of being beaten everywhere he went, so he appealed to the emperor, Caesar, I don't know which one, because he was a Roman citizen. His mother was Roman. Well, they couldn't beat him, they couldn't flog him, the authorities, because he was Roman. Not every person living in Rome was Roman, by the way. It was a special status. They couldn't flog him, but they could kill him, and they did. New Apostolic Reformation. I don't know anything about it, but the title sounds dangerous. Oh, and by the way, there's Reformed Jews. They can eat pork. But the Orthodox Jews can't. They have to eat kosher. Well, there's religious people who become fanatical, and then there's fanatics who use religion as a cover story. Just like there's politicians who really want to serve the people they represent, and there's other politicians who just want to rule over the filthy or common people. And modern historians like to claim that there was no slavery in Europe. Well, there was no black slavery, but the Western Europeans enslaved the Eastern Europeans, and even the native people were mostly slaves who just weren't called that. But under the feudal system, the lord owned the serfs who worked on his land, and he could kill any one of them just because he felt like it. I'd call that slavery. Ordinary working class people didn't own the land they lived on. The Lord owned it. And the Lord took whatever he wanted from the farmers and the blacksmiths and so forth. And they were allowed to have whatever was left. Oh, Black Irish? Oxymoron? Well, no. There were a lot of Irish slaves in the United States, and they might as well have been slaves when England took over Ireland. During the potato famine, well, there was more than one. I think two were really, really drastic because of an infestation that killed the potato crops. There was plenty of food in Ireland, but the Irish couldn't afford to buy it. You see, the English in Ireland raised cattle to sell to the English in England. The Irish couldn't afford to keep cattle. Oh, what England did to Ireland was horrible. You ought to read Jonathan Swift's essay, A Modest Proposal, to get an idea of it's a satire. It's really meant to be shocking, but not a serious proposal. It's just, this is what you're doing to them anyway, kind of an essay about what England did to the Irish. Oh, Darwin and Hume thought the Irish weren't Europeans. Yeah. Probably. Thomas Malthus had the idea, the theory, which was widely accepted, that we would outgrow the resources and we'd all starve to death. if we were allowed to continue breeding. And there's a lot of powerful people who believe that today. What do we have in the world now? 8 billion people? 7 or 8 billion? When I was a child, it was something like 2 or 3 billion, and they thought that was overpopulation. That if animals or humans are allowed to breed promiscuously, they'd outgrow the food supply. Well, the Irish didn't outgrow the food supply, they just couldn't afford to buy any food. That's why they subsisted on potatoes. They couldn't afford wheat or meat. I suppose some of them who were better off than others might have had milk, but there was no way they were going to eat the cow. They needed the milk. And the United States had quite a few Irish slaves. They called it indentured servitude. Someone in the U.S. would pay their passage to come here, but they'd have to work for transportation across the ocean. Well, if they survived the trip on a wooden boat crossing the Atlantic Ocean, most of them died before the 7 years was up. 8 billion? It happened yesterday? Majority Chinese. Well, China finally ended their stupid one-child policy. For quite some time, Chinese men have been marrying foreign women because there weren't enough Chinese women to marry. Because if a family was allowed to have only one child, they wanted a boy. That's a long, sad story. I'm not keeping this short, am I? But you guys really get me going, and that's a good thing. By the way, it isn't just Europe and America. There's slavery now everywhere, especially in the Middle East. They don't call it slavery, but it is. Oh, Oswald has to go out to smoke. I'm not going outside for anything till it's at least 45 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is Celsius. But, 32 is the freezing point of water. I think it's about 38 right now. Oh, my phone will tell me. Well, it might tell me. Come on. 41. Of course, the phone is not exactly looking at my location. Come on, you evil thing. Cell phones are evil, and they're smart, Alex. The riots in Ganju Chag? No, it's 34 where Oswald is, and he's wearing shorts. Good for you. Is that 34 Celsius? Once I acclimate to the cold, I'll be out in light slacks and maybe a sweater, but it's only November. I haven't had time to, gradually colder and colder didn't happen. It just went boom, 30 degrees. Oh dear. Well, guys, I'm about to fall asleep. Yeah, there's a lot going on in the world, and it's sad. Lockdowns for COVID in China, riots all over the place, by the way, not just China. Yeah, my legs have no hair. Oswald, when you get old, your hair stops growing, at least on your legs and underarms. Oh, that stampede in Korea was awful. There was a school shooting a few days ago. I think it was in Virginia. The football team got off the bus and somebody shot them, and three of them died. Oh, thank you, Top Rankin. Oh, who's Richard? Is that you, Top Rankin? Now I have to go to GoFundMe and say thank you. School shooting every month in the States, the real new normal. It isn't just schools, there's shootings. About once a week, I get a press release from the sheriff's department. It's usually Riverside County, not San Bernardino, but it happens here too. About once a week, somebody is shot. And the sheriffs are asking for anyone with information to contact them. I'd like some lighthearted news. At least in my community, we have a community dinner for Thanksgiving. And since I won't be able to get out to the lodge for that dinner, they're going to bring my dinner to me. And it'll be turkey and all the fixins and even a slice of pie. I love this town. And my pastor at the Baptist church, where I never attend, I get there once in a while. I make sure it is not Christmas or Easter, because I don't want to be one of those who only attend church on Easter and Christmas. But he is now on the school board. That's a good thing. Yeah, we help each other. Sometimes I'm able to help someone else. Sometimes. Like, if someone needs a jacket and I have an extra one that I'm not using, I'll give them a jacket. Yeah, Crestline is really nice. There are little pockets where there's trouble, but for the most part, at the post office and various shops, we open the door for each other. Not just men opening for women, but everybody opening the door and holding it open for everybody else. And people, I know people, even though I don't know their names, because we see each other in town and we say hi. No, we're not lioness anymore, Oswald. We're lions. And besides, you always could have joined. It's just that men didn't want to be lioness. So now we're all lions. You see, some countries, especially in South America, don't even want women to be members. So, of course, they didn't want the lioness. Yeah, some women are just feminazis. How dare you open the door for me? I once was coming out of the restroom and I saw a lady in a wheelchair, so I held the door open and she was offended. I'm not disabled, I'm just differently abled. Okay, open the door yourself, lady. I'm trying to do you a favor. I would have held it open for someone who wasn't in a wheelchair if they obviously wanted to go in. Anyway, it's been close to 2 hours, so this was not a short one after all. But I am just about to nod off right in front of you, so I better type my little closing remark, which is thank you all for listening and have a great day. Oh, of course, I have a typo. There, here we go. Yeah, I say thank you when someone opens the door for me. Bye, everyone, and thank you for your support. And Top Rankin, you're awesome. Catch you all later. Bye.